Hawaiian escape tunnel.
Need
to take a look at this.
Don't judge anything, because you don't know what the fuck it is sometimes. I don't know. Ooh.
Safely.
I will.
Oh god, please don't be a foreshadow, because I'm not prepared to lose anybody this early.
We have 48 hours to do what the CIA hasn't been able to manage in 2 months.
Yep.
We could be looking at the first attack on our soil since 9/11.
Go team! He looks scary as hell.
I'm prepared for.
Eh. Ah, I love her. Come on, give her a chance, Gideon.
Yes, sir.
Interrogation is the most dynamic form of profiling.
That's not an answer. Sir.
He's been locked away in Gitmo. He doesn't know we raided the self-safe house. That's an advantage for us.
You're really gonna put a show on for these guys?
No, not for them. For Jindala. He needs to see me as a complete contrast to what he's come to expect from his captors. With greater understanding, one day, we can come to a peaceful resolution of our differences.
God.
Is that so?
Look, I don't know what you've done or what you may have planned to do.
What'd she say? Garcia says this looks like a list of additives needed to weaponize anthrax.
Oh, fuck.
We are through already?
No, not at all. The sun is about to set. Mecca's in that direction. I'll have a prayer rug and water bowl sent in.
Okay. It's a good start.
Speak.
Garcia, I need you to check something for me. I'm looking for a stray bombing in a bazaar somewhere in Egypt approximately 30 years ago.
Okay, Reed, that's not too obscure.
I don't need you to get any details. We're just trying to set a baseline for Jindala's truthfulness. I just didn't know if it happened at all.
When I know, you'll know.
Your government won't even admit that I exist. How possibly can you tell my side of the story?
Ah, this is heavy.
This place is completely empty. We missed him again.
You got Gideon, Prentice, and me.
It's hot. We're at cell location number 2. No cell members, no lab, no dispersal devices.
I don't know.
Calls. Actually, both of them. Our men are in place in Annandale as we speak. You gain nothing by remaining silent.
That was something.
Jihad is forever.
That's relaxed.
His hands. Gideon, something's wrong. This guy seemed relieved by what you said.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably relieved that they didn't find the actual thing, but
Get
like,
everybody out of there now.
yeah.
Everybody out.
Oh shit. See, I knew it. Ah!
That's not a gas main explosion. Please pick up. Please pick up. Please pick up.
Get rid of me that easy.
Do you need anything?
I mean, poor SWAT agent.
I know who to call if I do.
Can we like feel a little bit for him too?
They all right?
I know he's not a protagonist, but like, who cares? He's not even in the credits. I'm so bad.
Son of a bitch.
Sorry about Kenny.
Yeah.
You're okay?
We were right about the trap. It was rigged to explode. SWAT agent was killed.
Was anthrax involved?
No.
And that's on the final target.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, because like the final target is some place where there would be a victim. I mean, people.
You look. My son was murdered.
His son?
His son was 8.
When he told the story about his childhood, the bomb landing in the bazaar, his behavior changed.
We know he was lying. Garcia couldn't find any record of a bombing during the time Jindala was a boy.
Exactly, but this time when he mentioned his son, he looked at his hands like he had to concentrate to control his anger.
That first story wasn't about him.
May we speak again tomorrow?
You are asking me?
Yes.
Tomorrow then.
We don't have time.
What do you want? The name Jamal Abaza, does it mean anything to you?
Abaza was an imam in Cairo. He preached jihad to his followers,
How
but
don't
he
you know it's
fell
the
off the grid 7
same
years ago.
person?
That's because when his son died, he took the jihad name, Jindallah. He came to America to recruit sleeper cells. I told you. I want to understand you.
And if that is not possible?
And that would be my loss. It's almost time for your midday prayers. May I return later?
I look
Oh
forward
my
to
god,
it.
how many prayers are there? Oh my god, where are you going? It's so scary that shit like this is probably happening under our noses, like more often than we think, and just because
We
like
finished?
As you said, the sun has set.
Yes.
sometimes they get to them
I'd like you to read a
in
column
time,
of
but
mine, Dr. Reed.
it's just like
Third world nations. Turn them into extreme fundamentalists by promising them a better existence with Allah.
I would say that you were
yeah.
more than somewhat successful.
But I did not learn where your MIS cell was going to make an anthrax attack in the U.S.
If they're talking, if he's making them think that it has to do with like economy, then maybe it has something to do, like something related to like economy, like a building that has, I don't know. He seems very satisfied of this news. Oh shit, did it happen?
You choose to contort Islam into an excuse for a life of violence. You have perverted your faith to justify murder.
Now we are finally chatting, Gideon.
You accuse Americans of being puppeteers of the third world, yet you used your own people's faith tonight to make them dance for you.
Your incessant need to own things, material things. Your capitalism rests on the back of third world countries. No one's hands are clean. No one is innocent.
Those people tonight, they were innocent. They never hurt you.
They hurt me by existing.
Jesus.
Yes, the infidels shall fall. America has learned
What
nothing
is it?
from the past.
Because this has to do
You
with
harden targets
capitalism,
like your power
so
plants,
was it a
but
big
you
mall?
leave the soft fruit for our taking. What has happened tonight will affect your economy for years, the way September 11 affected air travel. And maybe the next time a giant shopping center opens, people will think twice
because
before
they...
going. And is the sun not set yet?
Oh my god, they tricked him.
A shopping center, a mall. It's a grand opening tonight, not long after sunset. That gives you about an hour.
Oh, that was really
just open
smart
somewhere to go.
because he doesn't have a clock there, so his only sense of time is like where the sun or the ability to pray, right? So since he was not able to pray before, Gideon has made it like very like, okay, it's time for your prayer, it's time for your midday prayer, it's time for your whatever prayer. So he's kind of like lying to him and just pretending that it was like a certain time when it wasn't. Oh shit. Yeah, and it makes sense that it would be like a mall or a shopping center because he was talking about how, yeah, like the blaming Americans, American capitalism, and how we're just like destroying third world countries because, right? Jesus,
USA Mall
I'm
today.
dizzy
It's
now.
the largest in the country now.
What's wrong with you? You look like you've seen a ghost back there.
Haley's supposed to take Jack to the new mall to have his
Oh,
portrait taken.
that's where she's
Go ahead and
going.
call her.
It's a breach of security.
You lose Haley and Jack, screw this job.
Yeah, seriously,
You
dude.
won't have a life.
Doors to the mall.
Unless you're gonna go through the air vents.
Morgan, it's the air vent. They're going for the air vents.
That's the easiest way to spread
Move.
it. Yeah, come on, don't start like choking now. Not smart. Wow. So much for like not raising any panic and shit. Well, now it's over, so it's fine, I guess.
Did you see that there was an attempted robbery?
Then why didn't you answer your phone, bitch?
I'm glad I canceled Jack's photos.
Sir? You play.
Oh.
Yes, sir. I play.
Welcome to the team, Emily. Oh, that was cute. Gideon has a lot of patience. I would have lost my shit. Like all the things that he was saying. And it's just scary because there's people that are that devoted, you know, that blinded by their faith. Not just Muslims. I feel like it's something that can happen in every religion. Most wars have started because of religion. So, yeah, it's scary. It's a scary thought. And that was very smart of him, that he knew he had to trick him, because he was not just gonna start having conversations with him and just tell him the truth. It was not gonna happen. So he needed to give him what he wanted so he can get the answers that he needed at the end. And it required a lot of patience, and it required for things to go a certain way, to plan things. And yeah, I wonder where they got that feed. I mean, it's probably not hard to fake, since he doesn't have any like real access to television, so they could just like play whatever. Yeah, he didn't even ask any questions. It was just like good. He was just so happy that he had managed to do what he wanted to do. Wow, crazy. But Emily did a great job. She's not only like fluent in Arabic and helped the team, but she just like, I don't know, it feels like she's going to be a great asset and a great part of it. Friendly with Gideon now. I like that scene with the chest. The chess. Why am I blabbing words? I'm tired, guys. My English is just like not here right now. My Spanish is probably not here either. My brain is dying. Anyways, I really enjoyed this episode, and I hope you did too. So I will see you next time. Bye.
You're Dr. Reed.
Hey, oh.
Just know what you do.
Okay.
Anton. He passed away. Was it like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that he had a horrible accident and he passed away? Oh my god. I was not expecting to see him so young in this.
#1 serial killer target, actually.
Yeah.
Is that for sex or because they think they're dirty and they need to be punished?
Oh shit. That's very specific.
Are you waiting here for me?
What would it mean if somebody were stabbing them and cutting off their hair?
Oh my god, what?
I've never,
Certainly wants to be killing.
I should think the message he carved is sincere. You know, he's asking the police to help him stop.
It fits
It's
with your
sad.
kid seeking you out.
Yeah.
Part of him wants to get caught.
I'll let him go, I'm sorry.
We'll find him.
What are you supposed to do? Like tackle him? You didn't have any actual reason.
Base of the Capitol and announced that petty crime in D.C. is down 43% and violent crime is down 37%. The last thing I need is the press announcing that we have a serial killer murdering prostitutes.
I understand.
That's the reality of your situation.
By not alerting the media, we're putting women at risk.
I'm not asking you to back down. Work your case. Catch your killer. Just do it quietly.
And if I don't...
All these politics. I understand why they don't like
You
like
won't
it.
get it all.
It's BS. Because it seems like she is willing to just sacrifice this killer to continue. Oh shit. To continue killing prostitutes as long as she gets to have a certain image.
There's nothing in the juvenile offender records.
So you think like a high school kid?
I was 12 and I hadn't been through puberty when I was in high school. Wait, stop.
Oh, there it is. What?
Nathan Harris.
We got him.
Oh my god. Are you actually writing a book and doing research? Because that seems to be like the perfect excuse to use. But it's just, it'll be funny if this is actually the reality.
This isn't a game, kid.
I know. You knew specific details about a murder that hasn't been publicized.
But I didn't kill her. I really wanted to.
Oh, this is interesting. This is very interesting.
Nathan, if you didn't do it, how'd you know the details of the murder?
I know that.
I don't think anyone's personal demons would hold up to scrutiny. Mine wouldn't, would yours?
No.
He's a good boy. He's exceptionally bright. He just lives in his head more than other kids.
So it's just the two of you?
It doesn't hurt to just have to some like
How do you handle that?
analysis or some kind.
Excited, and that really scared me.
Is it possible that you actually killed those prostitutes, but you just don't want to admit it to yourself?
No.
Why'd you run away from me?
Because, I don't know, I thought you'd say I was crazy and there's no way to stop it.
Wow, it's good that he's like so self-aware.
Sure.
That's a big deal.
Permission?
I'll show you where to send the paperwork.
I bet Ted Bundy's mom said the same thing.
Juvenile authorities are waiting for Nathan Harris.
He's in interrogation.
Is he our unsub?
Actually, I think that's in
Says
the
he didn't
documentary.
You actually seem...
Must be so horrible to be so lost in your own head with those dark thoughts all the time. I mean, it happens to me, just these thoughts are not as dark as this. But I can only, like, it must be so horrible. Because Nathan said that he found the prostitute in the morning, right? And the hair was chopped. Was it chopped? I don't know. Because it doesn't mean that it's the same person. Like, he could have found the prostitute already dead, and he's the one that could have planted, like, the message or, like, chopped the hair. Whatever, because he's the one that's seeking help. So maybe that was his way of, like, seeking help at first.
Shouldn't we get word out to the papers?
Not yet.
Well, it's not too late to make a morning edition.
I said no.
Yeah, has to play ball.
You the other day, anyway.
It was a private conversation.
Right. Of course. I'm sorry.
He's not gonna
Well, I guess we know
trust
Nathan
her.
Harris
He's
is our unsub.
gonna think that
Gideon and
she's.
tell him not to bother with the eval?
No, he wants to understand what's happening to him. He deserves to know.
Is that why you want to hurt women?
Wow, this is
To feel
deep.
better?
I don't know.
Have you ever seen a woman naked? Don't worry about it. No offense.
I'm taken.
A few years ago, my mom's med school, her students get cadavers.
Oh,
Which part?
the cadaver.
dead.
No.
So when you watch the prostitutes, you don't imagine having sex with them?
No, I think about cutting them.
Oh.
I don't know.
I like that he's being so honest.
I know, but what do you call pictures in your head that you can't make go away?
This is horrible.
So right now he's sick and he needs help.
No.
He knows that he
Cannot
needs help.
control his impulses
Oh,
whenever he drinks. You
God.
need to consider what happens with someone fighting psychotic urges.
I'm not naive. I'm not going to turn a blind eye, but I have to protect my son.
He needs to be with professionals.
I have access to the best in Washington. I'll make sure.
I mean, I get it that it's hard to hear as a mother, but like you're not protecting your son at all. And you're definitely not helping protect everybody else.
It touched a nerve out there today. I'm sorry, but I don't deserve this.
He
Yeah.
mysteriously showed up at the BAU after one of my team members was involved in a questionable shooting.
Oh, shit.
You've done good work, I'm not questioning that. But I will not put up with a political agenda.
I think it tears families apart and damages people. So if there's nothing else, I would like to get back out on the street and find out who's killing these women.
Wow.
Sir.
You go, girl. I mean, I understand him too, but like, that was good. Yeah.
He's got to be out here, right? Where else would he be?
I still can't believe his mother's not out here searching for him.
Told her it'd be better if she waited for him at home.
Is that necessary if he's going willingly?
Do you want to know what I've been doing all night? Just been sitting here thinking. The only way for me to save people's lives in the future is to kill myself.
Exactly.
Guys, that press conference wasn't announced yet. Only someone with inside information would know that.
We profiled the unsubbed felt impotent in his job. Well, what's more powerless than being a bit player on the Washington stage?
Yeah.
You know, if he felt like
Oh,
he did his part to clear the prostitutes off
does
the
he
street,
think
it was
that this
never
whole
heard.
thing is a lie?
He might have felt so personally betrayed that he literally had to carve his frustration out on those women.
Washington, this is a fact. It is also a fact, however, that there's a serial killer who's been targeting the prostitutes who work in this area. In fact, the last victim was found not 100 yards from where we're standing. We're here today to let you know that the police and the FBI are working tirelessly on this case.
She's not gonna be happy.
We'd like to stress to the women who...
Same thing with me, and his voice got real high and nasal when he got excited.
Does that sound like anyone you know?
No.
No.
I'm going to read you a list of groups that lobbied on behalf of your legislation. Keeping in mind the description you just heard, tell me if anyone associated with these groups could be the man we're looking for. The Crime Policy Institute, the Center for Safety, Citizens Brigade.
I mean, he's not completely bald.
I need to get back to work.
Again?
Ah, his poor
Yes.
wife.
Again.
Allow anyone in there. I'm sorry, you really should come back.
In the last 6 months, your husband started asking you to play out sexual fantasies.
It's so personal. What?
Excuse me?
Possibly even berated you if you played along.
I don't...
Oh, it's the ones that already know him? Right? They already know who...
Where are you going?
Yay!
Put your hands in the air and get down on your knees.
Oh my god.
Get down on the ground!
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, she did.
God.
You're not him. Who
Not
we
yet.
are, it's constantly evolving. I'm a lot older than you, and I'm changing all the time. You know, this job changes me. You changed me.
Oh no, that worried me.
T.S. Eliot.
It's like when
Between
you're...
the desire and the spasm. Between the potency
Yeah, there's still 5
and the
minutes. That worried me just because it's the same thing when a drug addict that's about to go to rehab, they say like, it's my last night of freedom, it's my last night to get high, and they do too much and they overdose. He's gonna kill someone, isn't he?
distance. Between the essence and the descent falls the shadow. This is the way the world ends.
It's not working.
God, he feels like in so much pain.
Don't laugh at me.
Nobody's laughing. Let me help you.
Don't touch me. You're just a whore. You have no idea what I can do to you.
Stop. Bitch, run.
Do this. I have to.
Stay where you are. I'm calling an ambulance. I need you to drive, Darcy.
Yeah.
Oh God, did he call him?
He's loosening himself up. Oh, dear Lord. Give me your scarf tight around as tight as you can. Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh. Let me keep pressure on him. Where the hell are the medics? I don't know. Is it tight?
You can let go now. Sir?
Reed.
Let go. Sir.
Oh my God.
All right, sir, we're paramedics. We're here to help you. Can you tell me your name, sir?
Oh, wow.
Me to let him die.
He's sick. We needed saving.
How many people's lives did I risk in the future?
Oh, Ray, don't do this to yourself.
Profiles can be wrong.
He's gonna get help.
What if it's not? What if next time he kills him?
Wow. That was something. I thought he was gonna just kill someone and then he was gonna call Reed and yeah, they were gonna come and arrest him or whatever, but I really like this episode because it's very different, right, from what we've seen before. Like you have this kid who's been having dark urges and dark thoughts and he doesn't know what to do about it, how to stop, and it's admirable that at such a young age he's recognized that about himself and is aware of that darkness and what he's possibly like capable of, and he's searching for help. I think that tells a lot about his character, and also the fact that he'd rather kill himself than hurt anybody, right? He had that opportunity right there and he didn't do that. He just decided that he just wanted to take his life because he couldn't deal with feeling this way and thinking this way. And it's so sad. But yeah, he just needs help. It could be that he is going to end up being a serial killer. That's a very realistic thing that it could happen. But I feel like learning about this at this age, before he even actually takes a life, right? Because right now it's only thoughts and feelings and urges. It hasn't become a thing. Like I feel like once you do that, once you start doing it, then that urge kind of like intensifies and it's not a fantasy anymore. It's actually your reality. So you have to like chase that feeling. So it's good that he's going into treatment and getting help before the fact, and maybe he can learn some coping mechanism, something to focus that energy on. I've also heard a lot of situations where people get the same urge at a very young age after they've seen cadavers. I feel like that's something that's happened before, like to serial killers, because they associate their sexual, like if that's the first time that they've seen a naked body, like that's their first sexual experience, because it could be, it is considered that because that's the first time that they're close to a naked girl, like they haven't seen it before, maybe only in movies, but like close. So something in their brain kind of like associates that, because when they're in front of the cadaver, they get aroused, and then all of a sudden you have this like confusion in your head because you're making connections, and it's really scary. Yeah, and creepy. But I feel like I've heard that happened a few times with people who grow up to, become serial killers because of that connection. That's how they get their sexual release after that. And I just love how involved Reed got, because there's a part of him that understands, right? He says that he knows what it means to be afraid of your own mind because of what's going on with Reed. He is an outsider as well, and there's also the potential for him to one day have schizophrenia, because schizophrenia is hereditary, and he can see, like he sees his mom be so lost. And I'm guessing that every time he has like different thoughts, or it might be like a constant worry, like in the back of his head, like maybe today is the day that I'm gonna start seeing some shit or experiencing some type of symptom, which it's no way to live really, because you're just constantly scared of something that might never happen, and you're kind of like not living your life to the fullest because of that concern. But I completely understand, because especially how in tune Reed is with everything. Because there's one thing knowing that you can get something, or like watching your parents go through that, but to have that amount of understanding of the disease, and you know, Reed is so like, it's, he knows everything about everything, so I don't know. It was very interesting to see that dynamic and the parallel between Reed and the kid. I really also liked, because we've seen moments between Garcia and Reed, and I really liked it. I really like every single time that happens, because Garcia is such a lively, out of this world, she has such an out of this world personality that is so different from Reed. So every time they're together, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's a very different dynamic, because they are so different. I don't know. I feel like she brings something out of Reed that's like more joyful, if you can say that. I don't know. I just like it. I also liked Emily. I really like how she defended herself and her position in the team to Hodge. Like, I understand where Hodge is coming from, because him being the leader of this group, he has a lot of responsibilities on his shoulder, and he worries about the politics getting too much power, or he doesn't want the team or their decisions to be influenced by politics, and the fact that Emily's new, and the timing of her coming in, and the fact that they were not even like told that she was coming in. It wasn't their choice really, so it kind of like, it did make it seem like maybe Emily had been placed in the team to kind of watch over them and make sure like they kind of like steer them in the right direction according to politics, because of who her mom is. I don't know. So I understand his paranoia, and I like that he was very direct with her, and like asking her like, did you tell someone about the case and everything? And it was a really nice conversation. And of course she felt kind of offended, because I mean, no, but she wasn't rude about it. Like, she told him exactly how she felt about politics and about her mom, and she made it really clear why she was here. She's like, so if you don't mind, I want to go and keep looking for the person who's killing this woman. So that's her priority. And I really enjoyed that conversation, and I feel like there was like, Hodge was starting to look at her differently. So I'm really excited to see what's going to come next after that. And yeah, just another amazing episode. I really liked it, and hope you liked it as well, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. Hey guys, it's Sunday, so that means we're watching another episode of Criminal Minds. Last episode was very heartbreaking to watch, because we saw this kid who was having very dark thoughts about killing women very violently, and it turns out that he didn't want to live that way, and he tried to kill himself, and Reed and Garcia were there. They made it in time to save his life, but it was just so awful just to see him struggling to try and contain himself, and just screaming for help, and to know that there is nothing that you can really do to take those thoughts away. You can only find ways to channel them and control them, and it was just horrible. And it also was very interesting to see because we've never seen anything like this before on the show, where someone comes and tries to get some help because they're thinking of killing people but not really engaging in those scenarios. And you know, it was a kid, and he also came from a, you know, normal household. Like, yeah, the dad was not there, the mom was a little bit controlling, but it wasn't really something outlandish like abusive or anything of the sort. So it's kind of scary because it just lets you know that this can happen to anybody. You can have one little experience that kind of shocks you because he saw a few corpses when he was too young, and that aroused him and confused him, and now, you know, there was like something going on in his head. So it only takes a little I don't know, something to mess you up like that, and it just triggers something in your head, and it's just really scary that it could just happen to anybody. But I feel like, you know, sometimes you are more predisposed. You could say that he already was born with certain dispositions for this type of emotions and thoughts and feelings, and the exposure to the corpses was just kind of the thing that brought it to light, or made himself more aware of those things. But he already had it in him before that. So I don't know. It was very interesting to watch. And I love Anton. He was there, and it was so sad to see him because of what happened to him in real life. And yeah, I also feel bad for Reed because he seemed to connect with this kid, and it was just, it's sad to watch him get so emotionally invested, and I don't know, it's heartbreaking. But anyways, now we're on season 2, episode 12. Let's see what happens this time.
Turn around.
Turn around.
Look at all these nerds.
I'm not gonna show you how it's done.
The magician doesn't reveal his secrets.
I thought you said it was physics.
Physics, magic.
Trust me, it will not do you any good to argue with him.
This is a Morgan-centric episode.
Man, you weren't close enough to push off of. I blew you away. I could cover your ass all day long and kiss it all day long. What? Huh? Come on.
Hey, hey, hey! Knock it off! Knock it off! Get over there. Get over there. Come on. Take him with you. Get over there.
Oh, shit.
Hey! Get the hell out of here! You want to mess with somebody? Keep it moving. Get out of here.
What a bunch of morons.
No, not right now.
Then turn around.
Excuse me?
This is some kind of sick joke, right?
Don't make us get physical. It'll only make it worse for your family.
What the fuck?
All secrets.
Just because he was there to talk to him?
Writer.
What?
Corey Doctorow.
You know, you better have a real good reason for doing that in front of my family. You gonna tell me the charges now?
Oh, I bet if you think real hard, you'll be able to figure it out.
Tough guy. You want a lawyer yesterday?
Tell him what's happening.
I want a phone call.
Local?
I need to call my supervisor at FBI headquarters in Quantico.
Agent Hotchner? He's already getting a call.
Good, he can come here and chew your asses.
You want the other ones?
No, just this one right now.
You have a box with his name? Are you
got
kidding
it,
me?
Right. Pretend you went home and slept. Put an empty box with my name on a table right in front of me. The FBI invented this stuff, you simple bastard. We teach it.
Damian Walters. DOA.
So? I still don't see how that has anything to do.
Somebody killed him?
Not somebody, Derek.
You think I did this?
What a frigging idiot.
Special agent my case for me and sent me this profile. Everything in it points to that son of a bitch, Derek Morgan.
What? It can point to many people. You're just focusing on him because you don't like him.
We consumed with guilt, especially for the first victim. Your exact words are, with a guilt-ridden offender, the BAU postulates the first victim is the most important. And the unsub may still visit the place of the crime, or even the victim himself, this case.
So wait, he
That
talked to you about it?
doesn't mean that
He'd never
that's
call me.
him. Like, this is all
After I got your profile,
coincidences.
I checked airline records. Turns out Derek had just left Chicago when the other body turned up.
Tell me the story from the beginning.
I guess it starts when I was 15. I was coming home from football practice one day. Me and my boy, we were goofing off when I was 10. I mean, there I was looking at this kid, and he was my own age, Arch. Dead in this vacant lot. And he was never identified. Nobody knew who he was. Nobody ever even reported him missing. And that just didn't sit right with me. So I felt responsible for him. I mean, I was the one that found him, right? I went around the neighborhood door to door trying to start a collection, and
So you think at that age you
I
killed
got
this
enough
kid?
so I could bury him. And
First body was found.
He may not have had a knowledge of law enforcement, but Derek Morgan definitely had a criminal record.
So what? He was, you know, a kid in this tough ass fuck neighborhood.
Dealing with a desperate detective.
It happens.
Significance for him?
What are you saying? There's something in it for him? Other than giving back to the poor kids of your neighborhood?
Sarah.
Jesus, that's not what he's saying.
We're here trying to help. When we ask a question, it isn't to
It means if
denigrate
it's
or
important
demean
to him
anything he's done.
personally.
We just have to know everything.
You never told me about this.
You never told any of us.
My husband, their father,
Why
was
would he-
killed
okay.
when he tried to stop a robbery.
I understand that, like, it's secrets and it looks bad and stuff, but, like, why would he share that? Like, there's certain things about your life that you don't, like, go and talk to people about. I mean, in what conversation would this come up? It's like, oh, by the way, when I was, 12, 13 years old, I found a body in the parking lot and I did this and this and this. Like, maybe in some type of conversation this could come up, but if this is something that he just wants to keep for himself, or if this brings back memories that are very painful to him, or whatever, like, he doesn't have to share his entire world and his entire life with you people. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you guys you people, because I love every single one of you, but, like, you know what I mean? But they make it seem like, oh, he didn't tell us. And that's just, yeah.
I got the right to keep something to myself. Look at us, man. We practically live together already.
Then the best way to clear you is find the real unsub.
God, this is so hard because I see both sides. But he's right. He deserves some privacy.
Wasn't
Like,
picked up in his background check because everything in it was expunged and the file sealed by a judge.
because I do agree that he does deserve to have the privacy. And like I said, right, you are entitled to have some secrets. But when you're being accused of murder and all this stuff is coming out into the open, I feel like it's better for the truth to come out of his mouth. Like, anything that could seem like incriminating or whatever, because as they're digging deeper into his life, they're gonna find out what it is, and it may look bad on paper. And I don't know, I feel like also Gideon is right to say that he needs to trust them, or at least one person in the team, and tell them whatever it is that he's hiding. So it could be like, just make things easier for them to find a way to get him out of this situation.
Hello?
And a few of them back onto the straight and narrow.
Has he kept up with the investigation?
I'm sorry?
Over the years, does he ask how it's going?
Yeah, he's... Wait a second, you're not going to try to turn this off on him to save your guy, are you?
Just a question.
Carl Buford is a local hero.
So?
I'm sure he has.
Oh, and he would be that age at the time.
Yes.
We just left his office.
Hey! What, did we turn him loose?
Did he leave? Oh my god, Morgan. Oh, what are you doing?
You let him escape?
He did things to you, James, didn't he? He did him to me, too.
Oh my
You
God.
do whatever you think you gotta do to keep him happy because he's the closest thing to a father you got. But what he's doing to you is wrong. And man, you're something right here, right now, without Carl Buford. You just gotta believe that. Where's Carl right now, huh? Look at you, man. You're out here in the dark running past routes. That's you. That ain't got nothing to do with Carl. What you got inside of you?
Oh God.
James Barfield is your dad.
Whatever lies James told
They're
you...
not lies. You did the same thing to me.
I did nothing to you, to James.
One by one, they're gonna pile up until there's so many accusations, you can't say that they're all
Do
lying.
you have any idea how many kids I've helped get out of this neighborhood? How many lives I've provided?
Yeah,
you
you
said
did.
I had nothing to do with making you who you are?
No, Carl. Actually, I'm saying you have everything to do with making me who I am. Because of you, I'm somebody who gets to spend the rest of his life making sure guys like you go down.
Look.
Wow. Wow.
Rest, Carl. I've helped a lot of kids. Let's go.
Oh, they made it there right on the nick of time.
Without me, it's gonna be worse. Without the center.
Somebody will keep this center running.
Jesus.
We need to carry on. We need to get along, hold on, and right what's wrong. In times like these, we need to find a way.
Poor Morgan, man. I mean, understandably, he got those records of him being a juvenile delinquent expunged, and he didn't want to talk about it because that would lead to Carl Buford and then to this whole thing, and he just didn't want to, like, be reminded of that life. He wanted to just forget that that time of his life ever happened because it was just too painful. So I can understand him just wanted to keep this a secret, especially from people you work with, people you admire so much. You don't want to have anything influence them. And I know that, I mean, it's kind of like irrational at times because I'm sure he knows that they wouldn't look at him any differently. But there's always that fear. There's always, you know, because it's a human thing to be so worried about maybe it could happen. Maybe they could look at me, you know, differently or treat me differently or whatever. So I completely understand why he didn't say, you know, why he never talked about his use or everything with anyone. And just that part of where he's like confronting him, it was just so powerful. And that guy just like, he doesn't seem to think that he did anything wrong, and it's so disgusting because I feel like he just justifies this in his head because he's helping kids, then he's entitled to get whatever he wants out of it. This whole thing, like, you could have said no. I don't feel like, I mean, could he? Yeah, probably, but you probably wouldn't have helped him anymore. And so that's just like, and I'm pretty sure at some point he did, or he made it seem like he didn't want this to be happening to him, but you just didn't care. You just like mold things to your convenience and you manipulated the situation. It was just so gross. I hate him so much. But now he's gone. He's in prison. Hopefully he's gonna be dropping like the soap in there many times. And I know it's like a horrible thing to wish on someone, but like that guy deserves it. He deserves to be fucking blech. So yeah. I really liked the team, how supportive they were. Like, of course they're not gonna just jump to conclusions and think that he was the one that did it, right? but it's also very frustrating from their end because they want to help him, but he doesn't want to say certain things, and now they need to dig into his life, and it feels very intrusive for them to do that. But they know that they have to in order to help him, especially Garcia, because she's so close to him, right? She's like the closest friend with Reed as well. So it kind of feels like, yeah, you're intruding into his life, and you don't want to do that. It just makes you feel kind of dirty, but you have to in order to help him. And so I like the moments where JJ was like, "We're trying to help him, Garcia." I remember that. Yeah. What else? The cop, it was so frustrating because I understand his position in this and how desperate he is and how everything was very coincident. Like, there were a lot of coincidences, so I can see why he would jump into the conclusion that it was Derek, especially if he already had an eye for Derek, because that was the problem. He already had Derek as a suspect before this profile came in, and before he had all this like clues or whatever. So everything kind of like was fitting into his narrative that it was Derek, and he was just overlooking other actual clues and other suspects because of it. And in that way, he was kind of like blinded and not really paying attention, because it seemed like, yeah, the profile was right, but because he already had Derek in mind, he didn't even question the fact that it could have been Buford, even though he was fitting the profile a little better because he even had the age, right? So yeah. But also because like, oh, he's a local hero, so of course you have the local hero, and then you have Derek, who was a punk kid, but now he's like an FBI agent, so it's still kind of like, yeah, you just have it for him. You just really, really want this guy to be your killer. And it's also the things like, you are so like self-absorbed that you just want to be right. You have to be right. But at the end, it all worked out. They were both there to learn the truth, and they went for it. They arrested the guy because it could have gone, a different direction. But yeah, everything turned out fine for Morgan, and I'm glad, because yeah, it was so painful to watch him go through those things and wanting to keep this secret, but it was time. He needed to face those fears, to face that nightmare, and to step up, especially because he was realizing that, like, this whole time that he was silent, other kids were suffering. And in a way, I think that he feels a lot of responsibility towards that, because maybe if he had said something before, they would have arrested him, which I doubt, because it would be still the word of one little boy, and hoping that someone else would come up and say, yeah, he's doing the same thing to me, and that, because if it was only little Morgan versus Carl Buford, hero, it probably would have ended not well. Like, it would have been a disaster. So I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that was a great episode. I really enjoy when they have episodes with the entire team, but also episodes that focuses on one character and get to learn more about their family. We got to see Morgan's family. His mom, so beautiful and young. I was like, oh my god, you have 3 adult children. You don't look that old, which is great. And just a little bit of his background, and it was great. So we will see you, I will see you on the next one. Bye. Hey guys, we are back with another episode of Criminal Minds. It is season 2, episode 13. Last episode was actually very emotional. It was a Morgan-centric episode, and we learned that there was some history of sexual abuse, and it was just really rough. And in the comments, it was mentioned that this is the reason why Morgan is so sensitive, I'm going to use that word, when it comes to those cases that involve kids getting abused and all that. And there's 2 episodes that come to mind. The one where there was this kid, well, there were several kids, but they were trying to save this particular kid from being sold online. And yeah, he was very, very physical with the guy that was, the principal of the school. And there was also this other episode where it was like in the forest or in the woods, and the guidance counselor or something, they thought that it was him, but it was actually his son. So it turned out that it was a kid that was doing all the killing this whole time. And yeah, you could see how personal he takes these cases, and now we know why, and it's really cool for a plot perspective, not for Kim, because for him it's very sad, and I feel very bad for him, but I'm glad that he was able to overcome this and face his fear and actually put his monster behind bars. That's really good. So yeah, let's watch. Oh, that's not what you want to find.
Ribeye, Adam and Eve on a raft.
I wonder what aspirations my parents had for me.
Why don't we cut the crap, Frank?
I know, like,
No,
Morgan's
that's
like,
direct.
I don't give a shit about this
You're
stuff.
right, I'm not from around here. You know it.
What do you have?
That would be a magic trick.
Wait for their sign.
$1996. The rib
Wow,
cage
that's
of a
good
male was
editing.
found in the Desert Rose National Park. It was never identified. This morning, the remains of 2 victims were found in almost exactly the same area.
Well, 1 year later is cause for concern, but 10 years?
Right rib bone is missing. Tim Hodge, it's the same killer.
All the remains were dumped in remote areas and always near Interstate 80. And up till now, no remains this intact or this close to the actual time of kill have been found.
Every 2 victims dumped at the same time, in the same place.
It's my husband.
Oh,
That's our
shit.
song. Excuse me.
Dun, dun,
Lucky we
dun,
found anything.
dun,
Been a recent spike in the coyote
dun.
population.
That's our song.
Maybe that's why the NSUB dumps the bodies here.
My right! What are you looking at, princess?
Oh my god.
Okay. That's the way you want it, Jane. I know. Okay. He's coming. He's coming back, and there's nothing you can do about it. You hear me? Nothing.
Salt Lake City, Utah. And then found
You're just
right here in Golconda, Nevada.
all the holes and now these
Well, the
wall.
tattoo is from a prison gang. It was photographed and logged in San Quentin. This one belongs to Reno Rodriguez.
There is another connection.
The interstate, I-80.
So they're victims of convenience then?
It's essential for this unsub that he sees the terror in his victim's eyes. That is what gets him off.
He's either had medical training or he's honed his skills over the years.
Look for a man in his mid to late 50s, with him in his right hand inside jacket pocket.
That's
How could you know
very, yeah.
Tool marks on the remains indicate that he's left-handed.
This man is void of all normal human feelings.
Wow, it's very, very, like,
Incapable of
spot on.
How you feeling, Jane?
I don't want to go
I had a
home,
feeling
George.
that she was gonna
Please,
be
don't make me
important to this.
Jane, these people are from the FBI. I'd like you to tell them your story.
Why, so they can make fun of me too?
You were high as hell.
And the alien, he did things to me.
He touched me very softly, and he stroked my hair, and he drew lines all over my body. And the whole time he was standing there smiling down on me. I wasn't afraid anymore.
Oh, that turned him off.
I don't know why.
Then what did he do?
And then I was back in my own bed, and it was the next morning.
This is a confession. Start with the woman you just took.
She had killed herself. But her body wasn't found for more than a year. Surrounded by over 1 million people. And not one of them missed her.
Wife, please put the gun down. Tell me where my wife
Is it the
so
cop?
help me, I will shoot you. Sir, I said put the gun down now. Where's my wife? Sir, we are trying to find your wife. I said put the gun down now.
Oh, don't tell me that's the head.
Egg, Jason.
Oh no. Oh no, don't tell me that's her head.
Can't wait.
My men are tired. I'm tired. We got roadblocks on every road.
Do you want to catch this guy?
Wait till first light.
Do what you like. I'm gonna find him.
It's gonna be a long night.
I'm sorry. I gotta relieve my men and get back to the office.
understand. I'll talk to him.
His mother's. Took Tommy with him.
Oh no, this is the one.
Come on in.
This is when he's gonna take her.
Safe here. Ah, you said you didn't want to go home, and I couldn't leave you in jail. I'll make up the guest bedroom.
Oh, he's there for her.
This man is not
It's
an
all
alien.
right. He
He's a
came for
murderer.
me.
Jane, run. Run, Jane. Run, please.
So what? Like he fell in love with her or something? Ugh. Which is weird because like psychopaths can't love.
The unsolved right outside his house. Now, what's the profile? He took
Dude, relax.
All right, we need to work fast.
They're doing their
She enters
job.
the house, and then it's habitual.
Okay, she drops her keys, hits the answering machine, takes off her gun belt.
Guys,
Those are all freaking bones.
wind chimes are made of bone. I think it's human rib bones.
Yeah. What the heck?
He's waiting for us.
Well, let's go get that bastard.
Is that why like all the bones that he took?
Okay, wait a minute.
I love chocolate.
Peas, too. It's also found in peas.
Oh, fantastic.
Some people become veritable love.
Stop, please. Spread out, everybody. Keep looking.
I mean, this was an interesting information for me. He's not like love in the conventional way, like normal people love. Right? I feel like it's because she wasn't afraid of him and something just like made him obsessed with her or sparked some type of interest in her. But it's not love. It's more like curiosity masked as love. Like he probably thinks that it is love, but it's not.
Gideon.
We got George. She's alive. Get on the floor. Take it easy. Move. Take it easy.
That's not good. That's what you were waiting for.
Teacher.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
Annie. She was just 22.
Yeah, I was waiting for the time for when school ends.
Abandoned, just outside of town.
Oh, he's supposed to be on that field trip. Where is he?
Safe. He's fine. He's with my mom.
I found her walking the streets.
Okay, just give it to him, I guess.
Jane, he's been coming back to this town for years to see you.
All those years? Why?
He says he's in love with you.
He's in love with me?
That's what he says.
Leave her alone.
I don't think so.
Don't even think about it.
No matter what you do to him, he will never give you what you want.
They found me, Rick. They'll find the children. Trust them.
Once I am satisfied no one is following, I will take Jason to where I have the children. He will then call. If anyone follows, this story will end in tears.
I'm just shook. Like, I don't even know what to say.
You are insane.
Yeah, he is.
Love is insanity, isn't it?
But a good insanity.
Okay.
My hope is that one day you'll feel the way I do, too.
If I ever find myself feeling the way you do, I'll kill myself.
Call me first.
Oh my god. I mean, what other choice do they have at this point, right? Do they need to save kids? If he doesn't find you first. I don't know. I'm scared. I'm scared of this dude. What? Amazing. I don't even know what else to say, what else to call it. It was just so good. The guy that plays the bad guy, the unsub, is really intimidating. I really believe that he's a calculating, sexual sadist. It's crazy. And just the whole thing, I really like when shows do that, when they start at the end and you kind of like go back to the beginning and like flashbacks, and sometimes they do it, I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't work, but in this episode it did. And I'm really happy about that. I liked the conversations that Gideon had with the unsub inside the diner, and then just going back, I think we saw very important moments in the past, because sometimes they show things that aren't relevant, but in this case, all of it was very important to get us caught up to the moment where we were now. And just the things that he would do, right? Like kidnap all these people that are, the victimology, it was just all over the place. They were men, women. I don't know if they were like similar age. They all seem to be kind of like youngish, like 20 to late 40s or something, or early 40s. I don't know what like the oldest victim was, but yeah, like how he would like dismember them while they were still alive. It's just crazy. And getting off, just looking at the terror in their eyes. And just like the thought that people like this actually exist is just so disconcerting. But I've read stories of people that are like cases that are very similar to this, and it's just insane. And then you have Jane, who was taken when she was very young. She was 18, I think she said. Yeah. And she believed that she was abducted by aliens, and what happened is that because Frank liked to see the fear in his victim's eyes, and she felt so relaxed because she thought she was like in the spaceship, and the alien were like, I don't feel like she thought that the alien was gonna hurt her, because she thought, I don't know, it was like the drugs or whatever, but she thought that she was in a safe place, and that just kind of made Frank feel very unsettled. I feel like it shook him, because that has never happened before. So he dropped the knife, he got butterflies in his stomach, and I feel like that's like a reaction that he's confusing with love, but it's just because it's something like very uncertain. It was like something that was very unexpected. And I don't know, like I feel like he got very curious about it and kind of left obsessed. And he's just mistaking all those emotions for love, because he's never had anything like that before. Because before it was just like not feeling anything unless it's hurting people, right? Like the only times that he would feel any emotion would be when he would look at the victim and see the terror in their eyes and blah, 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 blah. So yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting, the whole like idea of a serial killer potentially feeling love for the first time towards this one person. And then he's like, I promise, like, as long as I have Jane, I'm not going to kill anybody. But that's kind of scary, because what if she doesn't stay with him what if she starts seeing the real him, like, because his darkness is not going to go anywhere. So right now she's just having this like nostalgia of what happened before. But once she spends enough time with him, she's going to realize that this person is kind of a monster, and maybe she'll try to leave, and then everything's going to fall apart. So I'm expecting to see Frank again, and I'm very curious to see if it's going to be the BAU catching up to him, or him kind of like, surprise, bitch, I'm back, and then something horrible. Like, so I'm scared. I really like everybody's roles also in this episode. You have Morgan helping Gideon. Gideon was like the main guy here. Like, he's the one that had the conversation with Frank that was profiling him face to face, trying to get him to tell them where that cop was. Charlie was her name. And so he did a good job having those conversations. I really like Morgan being there because, you know, you have Gideon being very, very calm, just having like little moments where he's like very frustrated, but for the most part he's very like I don't know, he's very clinical when he's like talking to the unsub. And then you have Morgan, who's very passionate and just like barking, and that's why he's like, oh, you're a lapdog, right? But I just love that combination. It worked. Then you have Hodge working outside of the diner, like in the background, trying to find Charlie with the rest of the team. You have, of course, you have to have conversations of intellectual, you know, capacity with Reed, and now you have Prentice, and they're both talking about like how the same components and love you found in chocolate. And it's just amazing, like the same chemicals, and peas apparently. And yeah, I'm still waiting for something of an overall plot to happen. We're on season 2, episode 13, and I feel like a lot of it has happened, right? Like, all of the episodes have been very like singular, like they're been separated from one another. It hasn't been like one serial killer or like one plot that takes over an entire season. I don't know if that's something that we're gonna see in the future. I thought that was gonna happen this season, but it hasn't. So maybe, I don't know if it's gonna happen later in the season. We did have one unsub that was very, very pivotal in the first season, that took the last episode of the first season and the first episode of the second season, and it was kind of like a mini arc, and it was great. So I really want to see something like that again, because that was a lot of fun. So hopefully we do. And until the next time, I will see you then. Bye.